In this video, we're going to take a look at the Design tab in PowerPoint 2019. First of all, the Design tab is dominated by this part right here that has you select from a bunch of different themes. I've got a slideshow started, a brand new slideshow, and what you get by default is just this basic plain white background with black text. And it's awfully plain. If you want to make it look a little bit fancier, we've got some choices up here. And if you pause the mouse, let's try pausing the mouse, okay, you'll get a live preview of what the slides will look like. Now, this is just the title slide, and the title slide usually has more color on it than the other slides. So let's go over here, and before we go any further, let's just go to the Home tab, and let's put in a new to content slide. Let's put in a new content with caption slide. So we got a couple of other slides here. And the only reason for doing that is so we can see what the other slides will look like when we apply some of these. So if we click on the first one here, and if we pause and do a live preview and click on it, we see that the title slide in this one, there's not really that much different. There's a little bit of extra green here. It kind of depends on the option that you choose. These are also pretty similar. Let's keep going here and try some of the other ones. This one, there's a huge difference. We've got all this blue at the top. And this one, I think there's not very much difference either. This one looks similar, but it has a lot less color on the slides. So if you just kind of keep your eye on the left side over there, you can see not only what the title slide will look like, but what some of your content slides will look like as well. We're going to choose this one. It's called Slice, and it just gives us some stripes in the background. The stripes are longer on the title slide, and they're quite a bit shorter on the other slides. So you can pick anything you want to here. There's also an option to go online and do a search for PowerPoint templates, and if you do that, there's a whole bunch of other ones. Now, some of the time, these design ideas are going to pop up over here on the right side, and if they do, and if you're interested in them, fine. I'm not interested, so I'm going to click on Stop Suggesting Ideas until I restart PowerPoint, so that'll put an end to that. The next section over here is Variants, and we've got 4 colors. You always get 4 colors here. They vary from option to option. So this is the one we have right now. You see there's a gray box around it, and if we pause, we get a live preview, at least on this slide, of what our other options look like. So we'll try this one right here, the one that's mostly kind of reddish orange. So we got 4 choices there, and down below we've got options for colors, fonts, effects, and background styles. Let's click on colors here, and this should also do a live preview for us as we pause. Each color, these should look familiar if you've used Word. These are the same color palettes that are available in Word, and each color palette here has 8 different colors. And it's kind of hard to know exactly which colors are which. Usually the first 2, though, have to do with your title and subtitle colors, I think. So each one of these palettes comes with 8 colors, and it's really hard to know what all of the colors look like until you actually find them pop up on some of the things that you're putting in your slides. So if you pause the mouse, you'll get a look at what the background is going to look like on any one of these given choices. So let's try that one. I like that one. So it doesn't look very blue to me, but I think what it's doing is it's adding blue to the existing background color that's already there. So we'll go ahead and click on that one. We've also got, for some other variants here, we've got fonts, and each font variant has a name in bold, and below it are 2 font names. The first one is what's going to be used for titles in your slide, and the second one is what's going to be used for ordinary text in your slide. Most of these, till we get about halfway down the list, are the same, just a difference in size or maybe whether it's bold or not. If you go down here part way, though, about halfway or so, here's one called Arial Times New Roman, and the headlines are going to be in Arial, and the rest of the text is going to be in Times New Roman. And if you look off to the side there, you can see the main title is in Arial, and the subtitle down below is going to be in Times New Roman. If you look at this one, you can see there's definitely a difference between the title, which is Calibri Light, and the body text, which is Constantia. And let's go down here and we'll try a few more. Let's do Garamond Trebuchet. So this is the Garamond font. This is the Trebuchet font down here, and that's what we get. Let's go back up here and try effects. This one is basically, it'll apply effects, and you can't really see a live preview here unless you've got some kind of smart art or something similar, some kind of image in your slideshow. And these are pretty subtle. We're not going to spend any time taking a look at them. There's also some options for background styles here. I'm not sure why they call these styles, because basically what they do is they don't change any style. They just completely change the background color to one of these choices. And the one that we have right now, as you can see, is highlighted with a gray box around it. So that's the one that we currently have. There's also an option here on slide size. If you click on this, there are two choices. Up until HD monitors became widespread, the standard aspect ratio for monitor was 4:3. And this used to be the default. Now the default is probably going to be 16:9, which is the aspect ratio for HD monitors. If you want to go back, if for some reason you need the standard aspect ratio, you've got two choices here. And let's try, we'll try ensure fit here. And so now we've got the 4:3 aspect ratio. That looks kind of funny nowadays. We're going to go back to the widescreen. And that pretty much takes care of most of the options. We've also got a format background option here. And if we look at this, this should look familiar if you've used charts in Excel. This is pretty much the option for doing backgrounds on a chart in Excel. So you can go in here, you can pick your own color, you can pick a gradient, you can put patterns or pictures in if you want to, although I don't think you really want to do that very often. And you can customize it pretty much as you want to. Most of the time, what you get by default is pretty good. So we're not going to spend too much time looking at that either. So that takes care of almost all of the options on the Design tab in PowerPoint 2019.